Namaste everyone, many blessings. My name is VerdarLuz, Shamanic astrologer, human design life coach, and super excited to share with you about this Capricorn full moon, massive event this weekend, ginormous event. This is a big full moon because basically the moon is aspecting almost every other planet. And so I want to break it down for you guys and see the best ways we can explore the full moon weekend ahead of us. Well, first of all, let's look at the sign that the full moon is going to be in. It's in Capricorn. And Capricorn is the sign we most associate with our ambitions in life, what it means to be truly successful for ourselves, and what we want to be recognized for. Capricorn is related to the 10th house in astrology, which is the area of career and public recognition. So we're actually looking at our productivity. Do we feel like we're producing enough? We're moving towards our goals. And it's really interesting, right? We're at the midpoint of the year, and we want to look back at the new moon in Capricorn. So the full moon is a time of harvesting, of bringing to fruition that which really we began back at the new moon. And the new moon in Capricorn, we all know, takes place in January. So it's sort of those new year resolutions that we have. And so we're looking back and saying, hey, where am I at with those projects, those experiences I wanted to be a part of this year and achieve this year, and really taking stock of that in a very realistic, practical type of way. This is all Capricorn terminology. So it's a good time to make adjustments in some things that we maybe had planned out and need a little bit of shift in their trajectory in order to accomplish. So it's been a really kind of challenging year for a lot of us because there's been a lot of retrograde energy. Venus, Mars, bunch of Mercury retrogrades. We're just coming out of. Second half of the year should move more steadily along without so much retrograde frustration or challenge, but definitely feeling feeling optimistic about making changes in our life, making adjustments. It's a good time for that with this Capricorn full moon. Now it's a good time to think if you're really feeling yourself liberated, innovated, reinvented, because this full moon actually is going to be in a square to Uranus, and so that individual spark, that original voice that wants to come through, really needs to shine at this time and with the projects that we're working on. The moon is conjunct Pluto, very intense full moon, and that's why we're going to feel this one really deep. It's a good time for healing, for transformational work, shamanic work, for really allowing the unconscious to come up to the surface and be processed out, and to look at whatever patterns are repeating in our lives and really do some cathartic work to understand the source of those patterns and to break free from that which isn't serving us any longer. So really getting into the essence of our true selves, spiritual beings, having a human experience. We may have been in a bit of mire with our human experience lately, a bit of the mud, and this full moon we need to really break out of that. So there's some intensity, there's a little bit of drama that can take place, a little bit of power struggle with Mars also involved. Basically that big grand cross that we were talking about gets activated with this big full moon. Even though the Grand Cross isn't active anymore, this moon, because of its placement, it basically is right in the center. So it links in Jupiter, it links in Mars, it links in Uranus and Pluto, and we're all going to be feeling this, especially any of us born between the sort of the first of the month and the 10th of the month, and that would be in the signs of Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, and Aries. So big full moon. Also, wherever it's landing in your chart, this is the area where you're going to feel it the most. This is an area where you're seeking to be actualized at this time, and you want to study your ambitions, whatever house it's landing in your chart. Another thing to think about with this full moon is its Sabian symbol. There are 360 degrees of the zodiac, and they all have a symbol associated with them. a beautiful thing to meditate on during new and full moons. And the full moon's Sabian symbol is a relay race. So if you can imagine a relay race, it's kind of a cool symbol for this full moon, where it shows us that, you know, we're a part of a team, which hints back at Mars in Libra right now, right? Or Jupiter in Cancer, feeling ourselves connected to the greater family of life. And we can pass the baton, we can ask for help along the way, but we do have a goal. And it's really a question of what are we running towards in our life. Not what are we running from, but what are we running towards. That's what Capricorn, you know, it's like running up a pyramid, you know, and we're building the pyramid as we run up it. So yeah, we may need to make some adjustments along the way, but we do have support in that process. Another thing I wanted to share with you was really beautiful cross-pollination with human design. We can always look at the symbol or the I Ching hexagram where the sun is. Every 6 days, it's about, more or less, it's changing the hexagram that it's in and the gate in our body graph. And it's really beautiful. It's moving this week. This weekend it's going from the hexagram of development, which is down in the root center. And the root has a lot of adrenaline, and it's about that force of doing and moving towards our goals. And then the sun will move into small is beautiful. The hexagram small is beautiful. And I love that symbol for this full moon, because it's about the development that takes place over stages in our life, in these what can seem at times, you know, minuscule motions towards a bigger goal in our life. We have to appreciate that whole process, and it's very important with Capricorn energy that we do appreciate the process. Think of Capricorn as the father and Cancer as the mother, the two signs that are polarized with this full moon. Everything that we're working on in our life is a kind of child, you know, that we're mother to, and we're also father to, but we want to give it the support, the skeleton, the structure to build itself upon. And so we want to think of these projects in our life as these children that we want to nurture, but we also want to say, hey, I gotta really get down to it and work really hard, put in the hours, put in the effort that it's going to take, and you know, in the process, nurture myself, be kind to myself, but really be willing to put in that hard work, and know that there are people that can help and support us in this process. So it would be beautiful if you can take some time on Saturday morning or Friday night. The moon is full exact about 7 a.m., 7:20 a.m. Eastern time. But you'll feel it, you'll see it big all weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. If you want to do this invocation or ritual, you can just call on the spirit of achievement in your life and really say, you know, I am moving towards these goals, I am supported in my process. You know, name your goals, and feel into that spirit of Saturn, of Kronos, of time, the Lord of time, and know that time is on your side to achieve these goals. There is a beautiful quote that was put on my my website, or my Facebook actually, and it's from the Upanishads. Maybe you guys know it. It's really appropriate for this full moon. You are what your deep driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. And that's from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, book 4, 5. And I love that for this Capricorn full moon, of the steps it's taking, the action that will follow our desire. Last thing I'll say on a personal note about this full moon, I'm actually going back to visit my family next week, and I'm going to be seeing my grandmother for her 90th birthday. And it's a beautiful expression of the Capricorn Cancer, because when we're 90 years old, we've hit our third Saturn return. And I'd like to invite people on this full moon to imagine that you're 90 years old, and you're looking back at your life at your third Saturn return, and you're thinking about these 3 things that you've mastered, and really truly mastered, because it does take the course of our life to master things. and look back from that place when you're 90 years old and say, wow, these are the areas I really developed in those small steps, small is beautiful steps, and I've really accomplished, I've really achieved. And then start doing the work now, or continue the work that you've been doing now, and feel into the long term, feel into the long journey, and know that your accomplishments will be fulfilled given the time, given the effort, and that you'll be supported on that process. So it's a meditation for you to do at this time during this Capricorn full moon. May all your dreams be harvested, adjustments made at this half-year point, and look forward to talking to you more with some upcoming classes, a new class on Jupiter and Leo, which is going to be a new move happening just in 2 weeks here. So excited about that creative spark that's coming through Jupiter and Leo. Namaste everyone. Happy summer. Take care.